Welcome to Pass The Aux. I'm peterrico.
You know this legend if you're watching this right now, you know who this legend is. Music videos, their apparel too. Like you're a clothes guy too. Like you have a trippy amount of stuff that you do, man. Can you introduce yourself to the camera?
Spencer Owens. Hello.
I want to know more about what you personally do because the Brother Smack albums are like iconic. So
Thank you.
now it's like
Thank you.
those two album covers are like really good shots, and then Big Moves is crazy. Like these album covers go hard. And
Big Moves, I think what's the guy's name? So Big Moves is Elizer's with like the pink.
yeah,
Like that is another artist. I'm blanking on the name, but there was an iteration of that artwork that I did. We did the 111 cover with the lemur on his shoulder.
Yeah,
That one.
Yeah, that goes hard,
fun.
bro. What is Dotcalm Supply? Who's a part of it, bro?
As hard to explain as it is to understand, I guess. I just started it like years ago because it was a name that I thought was cool. I was like, has anyone thought of this name? I have like a list of in my notes app of like fake band names or like fake names or just things that I think up, and I'm like, oh, that's a name for something, whatever, right? And that was one of them where I then just started designing stuff with that name sort of as the centerpiece of it. And then it was clothes, and then sort of a record label, the idea of a record label.
Who helps you design the images for like how the .com sign looks with the exclamation and stuff? Like
Oh,
the color palette that you
Mhm.
use with the brown and stuff. Like who helps you come up with that? Who are some collaborators you have with that? Because it's
no
original.
one, no one.
That's all from you.
Yeah, because I was making the artwork, I was sourcing the merch, designing the merch. I was doing a lot of things that I see labels doing, but the one thing that I was lacking was like actual label support, or like I could pay you, but I was like, I'll do your artwork for free, I'll design your merch for free, I'll do this for free, and then we'll just split. The original idea was, let's say you're a artist, right? I'll make your merch for free, and then we split the cost of producing that merch, and then we split the profit of that merch. So you get free merch design, I get an audience to sell that merch to,
Yep.
and then it grows the name sort of. So
That is dope. Dang, that's really revolutionary. Like you're an independent like model right there. Like that's such a cool collaborative type of structure. How did your creative journey start, man? Like what did you do first? You do so many different things. Me and Bumbasee were shouting out how like you have a really good radio host voice. You could be a radio host.
it's only when I'm like able to talk low.
And yeah.
Otherwise, like if I'm around the homies, I'm like trying to get my words in, and I'm just like, yeah, I speak too high. It doesn't sound. I can't be like, hey guys, so I was thinking, no one would be able to hear me.
So the reverse only Toyota Tundra, part of it, the genius of it was just the believability of it. Because the future is the thing of the past, and I love the all the runs with Smackums. Like Smackums is my favorite Brother Smack
Yeah.
song.
We got
Bro, that's-
we want to make more Smack'em stuff, but
yes, dude, you got
time
it.
permitting.
What can you say about the organic sound that comes from your just your homies alone?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm super. I don't know. I always think how lucky I guess I am, and how cool it is to just be like, to the demos that I have in like my notes app from friends, I'm like, these are still some of my favorite songs right now. Like I'd rather go and listen to some songs in my notes app that some friends have made than, I'm not like finding too much current music that I'm that excited about, but maybe I'm just too close to it. I don't think that that's the case though. I just think
You got your hand on like you got your finger on everything in that environment because it's the Brother Smack sound.
yeah.
It's the Brownboyz sound. You do a lot of the imagery for those foods, and you collaborate with these foods on like the style.
Yeah, so fortunate. No one's
Diverse.
like, oh, we're a group now, so we're gonna walk like a group and talk like a group, and like we already do that naturally. They do that naturally. Again, like I'm super fortunate to be in any way, shape, or form like involved. They could find other people to do artwork. They could find
No, they
whatever.
can't find- that
But
is-
like we do have this rapport and this like this way of just understanding. You know, it's like any good team. It's just like eventually, yeah, like you do need to practice, but once you're like out on the floor during the game, then it just clicks, and there's no scientific like reason as to why it just works.
You guys just win. You guys just always win.
It's winning season.
It's a winning season, man. I'm looking back at albums that have been made like in the last 5 years, and a lot of the homies, they made some crazy ones, including that guy on the couch right there. Now and Later, that was a crazy album front to back. Like Ray Khalil just dropped a beautiful
Ray's
album.
amazing, yeah.
If you're listening to Ray Khalil right now, like you're hyped. That
Definitely.
If you know about that album, woo,
Yeah.
what can you say about like the amazing artist that is Ray Khalil, man?
She's so cool. It's probably been like a little over a year that I've known that she was friends with like Eliza and Kennedy and all those guys, and me, Ray, Choppies, Kennedy, and Stretch the other day. We all just went out together. It was like one of my first times hanging out with Ray, and since then we've all just been, I don't know, I feel like we're all becoming a lot closer right now. So it's really cool to see.
That's gonna be magic. Do you do any work with After School Special?
No, I don't.
You should.
Yeah,
Your homies. They just dropped something recently. Mash put a verse on it. Nadia put a verse on it. It was FWP. The way Fernie laces it, the way Nebula's speech. It's that crazy mixture that like. It's that area. It's
yeah,
like
it works.
Water.
Yeah, right around there. Right?
Everyone in that area is like a monster at what they do.
Yeah.
And what part of California? I didn't think you were from California, dude.
Yep. Born and raised. Buena Park.
I would have believed he was from like Highland Park or something. No,
yeah.
I believe he was from Cali, but no.
I look like I'm from DC.
You look like you're from DC. You look like you're from Philly. You could be from Philly.
Okay.
You look like you could be from Pittsburgh. You could be from.
Yeah.
You're an American.
Where the white people are.
Infinite. Shaw Infinite.
Shaw's?
Shaw. Him.
Shawnee's looking at me when I'm talking about him. I'm just kidding. I'm not here.
You know.
Shaw's sick. No, Shaw's great. Like,
I'd like to give you some time to sit down.
yeah, I got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
No, I know. I have a brand called We Are Him.
Yep.
You have a brand called Dotcalm.
Mm-hmm.
And we just swapped a lot of ideas, like in the DM about like, you know, like what we would have done differently, or I guess that's like my first question for you. Like, if you were to start .com all the way over, like what would you do different as far as like merch runs or just first drops or whatever?
Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost.
Right.
And then, I mean, I sort of did it at the beginning where it didn't seem like it was a brand, you know?
Right.
Just like you want to build a culture around something. And if your brand or whatever it is that you're doing, music or whatever, if it doesn't have like a story and sort of community building ability to it, then I don't think it's worth doing. Like, if it
like
doesn't,
a mass like run for it, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
even if there's only 20 people that are really into your stuff, like that's 20 people that are really into your stuff.
No, for sure.
Someone from the outside of those 20 people looking in and being like, that looks like a cool group of people, and
Yeah.
what are they wearing and what's that, and then by way,
Right.
you know, them getting into your brand. I feel like that is the value of a brand. You know, we're all sold like the idea of what we'll be like if we buy this brand, or
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I feel like what resonates most with like your brand though is that like you are building community through revitalizing experiences that you've already had. So for example, like the hockey jersey that you came out with was an ode to like your upbringing in hockey, you know? And then you did a collaboration with like a pizza store, like,
with
you
La
know?
Parlacha.
Yeah.
I'm dog sitting for that fool too.
See, it's all like just community. So like,
Yeah, that's the brother, and known him since like high school. He was in bands. He was in a band called Close But Not Quite with the homies, and yeah, like that's how I met. I don't know if anyone here knows Seas, or from like Truanseez. Like, yeah, I met them all at the same time in high school, and then his dad still had that restaurant back then, and now he's come up and just was chatting to me about like, hey, let's do this. I designed their pizza box, which isn't out yet. Did the .com collab shirt,
Right.
and then now we're just trying to do more. But
Right.
like you said, it's more of a like comfortability for both of us, just being like, oh, we've known each other for so long, let's work on something together.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not reaching out to like local businesses and asking for that to put my name on their merch, you know, but Mike's nice enough to see it.
Yeah, I feel like you're a lot like me in the same right that like my friends who quote unquote think that they're not creative hit me up for any like creative endeavor as far as like designing something, shooting a video for them, or they know that like music is my mainstay, but I kind of like consider my creativity to be like an appetite, you know, and I don't just like eat like soul food every day. I like to dabble in like Asian, Italian, like, and try new foods and shit like that too. So just like seeing a person like you just like making mannequins and shit like one day, and then like doing Kendrick edits for another day, then he comes out and he makes his own like potato chips and shit. I'm just like, I'm not alone, bro. Like, so there's somebody out there who just gets it, just does epic shit every day just because they want to do it and they can put their mind to it and just keep moving, you know?
I think life is more fun when you're just like I just started gardening like a year ago.
Yeah.
I started growing vegetables.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Kenny told me you had like the best like cherries and shit, or like
I had some like cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, cherry tomatoes.
I was just like, every time at the studio I'd bring like a Ziploc bag. The amount of tomatoes I had was way too many.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't know what I was doing, and like it just one day.
But that's also
worked.
like the appeal for me for like driving to the Brother Smack studio. Like, y'all know, like I live in NoHo. It takes me at least like an hour and some change to like get to the studio in Long Beach. But every individual that steps in that studio is like super different, from Gazo to Mash to Blue. Everyone, like, you know, I could do like an alternative song with Blue one day if I just pull up to the studio. I could, you know, I could get some chips from Spencer if I just pull up to the studio. And like, you know what I'm saying? It's all this FOMO when you're just watching it on Instagram too. Like, fuck, like I need to be in the studio with Brother Smack, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, or the Brownboyz, or whoever else he has in the studio, Els or whoever, you know?
Yeah, I love it. That was like
This is from a fan, bro.
I don't have any fans,
It's a very personal,
so I know you're
it's
lying.
a very personal question.
This is ChatGPT asking this question.
Yeah, ChatGPT came up with this. What's up with Lil Snacky?
Oh, I know exactly who that came from.
It's a ChatGPT. Bro.
I know who asked that question.
What's up with Lil Snacky?
Little Snacky's cool. I don't know. Do you know? Have you heard about Little Snacky? Little Snacky, I guess.
What is Lil Snacky?
We used to live in. We lived in downtown LA. Me and Bumbasee. I call him Tierheimer. But and we lived in like a 700 square foot loft. Me, two dudes, and a dog. No windows, no doors. No, I'm just kidding. There were windows, but it was like their studio. So I'd be home and they'd just have someone. They'd be working on a song. But like late at night, there was this dude that would like. He just randomly hit up either Tierheimer or the other dude that we lived with. And he'd be like, yo, I'm going to come through and lay something down. And he'd come through like super late. He'd be there for like maybe 15 minutes. One take. Knock it out. Pay very well. And then leave. And afterwards, he'd have us export the track. No mixer mastering. Export the track. Airdrop it to him. And then he'd watch as you deleted, quit, don't save the session, and then he would go. I never knew the dude's real name.
Lil Snacky.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
His music's crazy.
Lil Snacky.
Yeah.
That's like a legit.
I haven't like found his music though. Like
I gotta find Lil Snacky now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All of his songs were like 30 seconds.
Man, Spence, I thank you for this time. What's some artists that we should be looking out for, in your opinion, that we should be listening to this stuff right now?
Obviously, Brother Smack. Obviously, Shaw Infinite. Obviously, the Brownboyz, Elizer, Kennedy, Mash, Stretch, OTXOA. He's one of my favorite producers. I'm just like saying my friends' names, but this is not just because they're my friends, which is crazy. Obviously Ray Khalil, Eden, Man, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, keep
Leota,
going. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
Chris Soul.
Keep going.
Who am I forgetting? Choppies.
Yeah. Blue Tory.
Blue Tory. Yeah, when I say like Brownboyz, I just like check all those guys off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
list.
you
But
gotta
I'm like,
buy-
yeah,
yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Tory.
Yeah.
Man, I love everybody. Yeah, listen to everybody. Just listen to music.
The ultimate.
Buy music. Buy merch. Support people. Yeah, man, streams aren't doing it. You gotta you gotta support
That's
artists.
the sad truth. Streams ain't doing nothing. But everybody out there watching, thank you for tuning in. That was Pass the Aux. Clap it up.